Sunday, December 14th, 2025, right at 9:55 a.m. Good morning, loves. Good morning. I had a reflection last night on forgiveness. I think it's really important. In fact, pinnacle. And I was connecting my family experience as I was growing up with my family and my children. Very interesting. And I made an incredible connection. My mother, Patricia Stella Gravesmore, had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, me, my brother Clifford and my brother David. And they were older than me, my brothers, and they treated my mother awful. Let alone my dad, Robert William Ryder. You don't want to know how that Navy veteran treated my mother. Absolute, unimaginably, what my mother had to suffer under him. And my brothers grew up a lot like him. Selfish, greedy, and could care less about anything outside of themselves. And all my brother Clifford wanted was my mom's house. That's all he cared about. You know, he'd do anything just to get that house. And that's all he wanted. He didn't care about my mom. All he wanted was what he could get out of her, you know. And then my brother David wasn't no better. In fact, in some respects, he was worse. Because he would do stuff like, steal the mortgage money from my mom. Or anything, any little thing my mom needed him to do, he would charge her for it. You know, if she needed help changing a tire, oh, that'll cost you $25 or I ain't doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And so my mother got to the point where she started doing everything on her own. See, I wasn't like that with my mother. I did whatever I could for my mom. I was different, though. I was cut from a different cloth. I loved my mother, even though she was super jealous of me. It made it really hard for me. I loved my brothers, too. I didn't understand why they do what they do. You know? But then, they were raised in an environment as dysfunctional as my family's was. It's understandable. At 234, I mean, they suffered sexual abuse. They suffered dysfunctionality, my dad's temper, his rage, his anger. And then my mother, she was absolutely depressed. Understandable, right? Right. My dad was a rager. Mm-hmm. A rager. God help us. And anyway, so yeah, my mom finally killed herself on Mother's Day, 1983. And she told me the day before, hey, Laurel, Clifford got the house. I signed it over to him. He said he'd stay with me and he'd be with me and he wouldn't leave me. Sure as chips he did. As soon as she signed over the house to her, he couldn't wait to get rid of her. So, Mother's Day, the day before I went to see her for Mother's Day to celebrate, bring her presents, gifts. We sat in the sewing machine together, and me and my mother at 3:33. And she told me, Laurel Ann, I'm going to check. I got to go. I can't do this anymore. I've seen your brother Clifford's true colors, and all he wants is the house. He just cares about the money. David, too. David had went to see her a little bit earlier than me that day, and all he could do was he wanted his inheritance. He wanted his money. He didn't care that my mother was so beside herself over the agony and the grief that, she was going to, this time, kill herself for good. Okay? He didn't care about that. All he cared about was his money and what he was going to get out of it. Oh, yeah. And so I'm sitting there talking to my mom, and I said, you know what, Mom? I love you no matter what you do. If you stay, I'm with you, Mom. If you go, I love you, and I release you from any obligation you might feel to me in this planetary. I would rather see you free, Mom, from this agony. And some would say, well, why didn't you stop her? Would you? I think that would be more cruel, actually. And in releasing my mother, I was able to let go of my my son Jacob 6 years further down the road. 7 years further down the road, actually. And my mother was there to get my Jake when it was time for him to get the golden ticket. And my family, same situation. My children should be put in prison for what they did to me as their mommy, sadly. And they were let in by their daddy, just like my brothers were. He tried to lead me too, but I didn't listen. I love my mother. And, it's funny. My brother Clifford ended up killing himself in my mother's house just last year or so. Yeah. And David, he bit the shit with COVID. Confirmation. So they both, and hey, my brother David said to me, Lori, ain't you dead yet? Yeah, that's how cruel my brothers were. Absolutely. It's better off the world without crap like that present. And those are the ones we're getting rid of, the ones who only care about the money. It's not all about the money. That's the saddest thing, is it's not about the money, man. And I forgive my children because I understand what led them into sin, or who led them into sin, who is already in prison. And I forgive him too, because I forgive me for taking a punishment I never should have had to, but I allowed and gave permits to, just like my mother. My mother gave permits, until she finally took her golden ticket herself. I get that, because truly, my kids should be in prison for what they did to me. I think they know this, definitely. Or maybe not. Doesn't matter to me. I forgive me. Totally. And I forgive them too, because I understand where it came from. I get the source of the force, and I love them. Yeah. My mother loved my brothers too. I think she did the best that she could do with what she was given. And I never had a resentment against my mother for what she did. I understood her. Had a lot of hurt. I got over that. I forgive my mother anything. I know she forgave me too for whatever I did to her. So that's cool. I get it. And when you get it, you got it. And you can give love to it. And I still do love. And that's a beautiful thing. I love my kids. I always will. I'm not mentioning any names. They might clink me for it. Yeah, you arrest someone for love. Quite the opposite of, what they think anyway. Anyway, I'm getting long-winded at 8. I'll stop at 8:08, and I'm praying for every one of you. Always will and always do. Love you.